Applez2Applez uniquely puts in the hands of the healthcare ecosystem companies a significant strategic competitive advantage, namely a solution to all of the challenges and opportunities facing the healthcare consumer. We will demo how to turn corporate challenges into significant opportunities and preempt the competition in a highly efficient and effective way. Applez2Applez solves the most critical challenges for ecosystem healthcare companies in several ways. First, differentiates and distinguishes your company from the competition by identifying those strategic and tactical actions in which your company has a distinct competitive advantage in the eyes of your customers. And second, enables you to laser focus on those characteristics, features, and functions of your wellness and healthcare activity, service, or product that healthcare consumers will find most appealing and engaging relative to your competition. Now I will demo the Corporate Healthcare Decision Support module to show you how United Health Group and Optum can use it to generate competitively superior sales, marketing, and product and service development solutions. You do not need to know anything about software in order to take advantage of our competitive decision support, optimization, and recommendation engines. You can start using them within minutes. The same module can also help United Health Group and Optum to offer a new set of services to healthcare providers and potentially create a new revenue stream. We will demonstrate this capability in the video New Profit Generation Opportunities. This is the Applez2Applez website home screen from which we can instantly reach all decision support modules with a single click of the appropriate navigation web link. We start the decision support module for healthcare ecosystem insurers and providers by clicking on the healthcare customer login at the top of the screen. This is the healthcare ecosystem company home screen from which all of the recommendations can be launched. In the full commercial model, the user will have access to our Omni engine. This configuration engine allows users to define and select a scenario by simply selecting parameters from pull-down menus. In return, the system delivers the recommendations for the desired scenario in real time. This approach means that the Applez2Applez will offer companies a solution to virtually all unlimited number of sales, marketing, and product and service development scenarios of their definition. Inclusion of goal-seeking and similar technologies to identify, for example, competitively exploitable white spaces in a healthcare company's product or service portfolio. This demo will show a highly structured and repeatable way to provide explicit and customized recommendations and decision support to all companies in the healthcare ecosystem, from healthcare insurers, healthcare providers, manufacturers of medical equipment, healthcare insurance agents, business consultants and financial services, and merchant bankers and investors. In the demo, we will go over a number of the parameters that define a scenario for the Omni engine using pull-down menus. Let's consider a scenario where I am United Health Group and I am in the process of developing a sales and marketing plan in the Phoenix area that needs to take into account my biggest competitor, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I select Sales and Marketing Attack Plan from this first pull-down menu that includes predefined scenario choices. Note that to the right of each scenario choice, Applez2Applez automatically displays a description of that scenario, so you are always fully aware of which competitive scenario you are working. Also notice that as I make my choices, they show up here in the summary table to confirm to me that I'm choosing the right parameters for the scenario. As soon as I select a choice in the current pull-down menu, the system automatically generates the next sequential pull-down menu choice, so that at any one time I am only working with a single parameter. My next decision is to define the business entity that I wish to compare against a competitor. I have the flexibility to define this entity at any level: the overall marketplace or segment of that marketplace, an overall company or organization, a division or business unit, a geography down to the individual postal codes, an activity, service, or product category, or a specific activity, service, or product, and a number of alternatives displaying exactly how to define this entity to the Omni engine. For this example, using the search engine option, I choose the highest aggregate corporate level, as I want a campaign aimed at the overall competitive brand, rather than an individual category or specific activity, service, or product. For the base company, I choose United Healthcare. Next, I need to define the entity against which United Healthcare will be compared, the comparison company choice. For my prime competitor, I'm going to select Blue Cross Blue Shield. Next, I define the scope of the healthcare end consumers whose experiences I want to include in this recommendation. In this pull-down menu, my target healthcare profile selection. I want to base this analysis on all healthcare consumers that fit a specific target profile, and not just my customers. One of these profiles is already included in my default settings, so I choose this option. The life cycle selection here allows the user to determine which phases of the healthcare event experience to include in the recommendations. Each phase includes different aspects of the characteristics, features, and elements of healthcare consumers' experiences. The satisfaction ratings for a given company, activity, service, or product could easily vary significantly in these different stages. Note that I could select multiple healthcare life cycle phases in any single recommendation. But since this is a marketing and sales strategy, I choose the single healthcare cycle phase that includes customer opinions only about the design and features of the two healthcare insurance plans. Next, I need to define the single type of measure or metric I want to use in the analysis. For this competitive sales and marketing scenario, the ideal metric is the level of satisfaction that these target consumers have already experienced with the design, features, and functions of each of the healthcare insurers' plans. The time frame is the next and last choice. I know that the campaign is intended to start in about 90 days, so I regress that the system projects the results out 3 months. This is a prime example of the system skating to the puck and developing recommendations on a regression analysis of where the experience options are most likely to be when the campaign begins, rather than where they may happen to be today. There is also a calendar function to allow the user to select a specific future projection point. I check the summary table to make sure I've described my scenario correctly, and then I simply click on the search button to instantly generate real-time recommendations in easy-to-understand graphical format. I'll just scroll down a little bit. A couple of important things to note right off the bat. First, Applez2Applez has just recommended to United Health Group a customized, prioritized, and competitively directed explicit sales and marketing campaign strategy. As you can note from the first chart, the strategy recommends that the most important feature that should be emphasized in the campaign is customer service, with a 78% superior customer satisfaction rating, followed by easy to do business with a 74% superior rating. Second, the solution not only informs United Health Group what to do, it also informs United Health Group what not to do, as displayed in the second chart. So stay away from mentioning anything about personal data security or about the level of deductible, as your target profile customers clearly prefer Blue Cross Blue Shield for these particular features. Third, the strategy also shows in the third chart those features where consumers do not have a clear preference, such as useful website, and mentioning them is just a waste of time and consumer attention. Similar to the consumer decision support statistical feedback, I could have the system provide me with any level of detail about how and why these recommendations were weighed, and also those features which are most vulnerable to change and how these changes could impact on the recommendations. Clicking on this button. At this stage, I also have the choice to change the parameters of the sales and marketing scenario or select a new scenario entirely. Clicking on any one of the scenario parameters up here in the summary box directs the Omni engine to display the pull-down menu with different selections for this analysis. Let's say that I want to select a different target end consumer profile for this analysis. Note that the summary box, when I change this particular profile now to my own profile, that the summary box now reflects this change in target healthcare profile, consuming the change in the definition for the sales and marketing scenario. Since the parameters are defined in logical sequence, the Omni engine now automatically proceeds to display all parameter choices subsequent to this target profile parameter that we went through in the original analysis, starting with the life cycle stage selection. At any time, clicking on the search button confirms to the Omni engine that you have completed your selection of parameters for the next analysis. The engine then automatically generates a revised version of the optimized recommendations for a competitively superior sales and marketing plan. This concludes the demo of the corporate decision support Omni engine and shows how easy it is to have Applez2Applez generate customized and competitively superior recommendations for a broad range of challenges and opportunities in sales, marketing, services, and product development.